Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, it is me, Janaya. And if you're not new here, hello, it is me, Janaya. And I am here to pick my February TBR because it is already February of 2026, which is actually insane. But I'm gonna give you a fair warning. I'm picking my TBR using a letter generator, which is not how I originally wanted to do this. I wanted to do this because February is Black History Month, of course. It's also Valentine's Day, the month of love. And so I wanted to pick my TBR using lyrics from songs by Black artists. That's what I wanted to do, and it proved to be very difficult because apparently a lot of, well, I guess not apparently, because a lot of the words that are in like love songs are not in the title of books, and it was stressing me out. And I'm like, you know what, it's fine, so we're just gonna do a letter generator. And yeah, I do have a reading vlog planned, the same reading vlog I do in February every year, reading Black authors books. So I'm hoping to get at least 3 books. I know the books that I want to read, but if I happen to choose different ones in this video that also work for that video, that works as well. And then I also want to read some romance books. I'm not doing a romance reading vlog this year, but I mean, I could read romance at any point. I could also read Black books at any point, but I feel like now more than ever it is very important to be reading books by Black authors. So that will definitely be a vlog. So I'm hoping to make some of those books fit into the letters that I get. Another thing, the letters that I'm choosing, I'm going based off of author name. So it could be their first name, it could be their last name, but I'm not going by title because that's what I did last time, and I want to switch up. So I'm doing author name, and I can pick and choose whether I want to do first name or last name depending on what books I want to read, because I'm giving myself some grace here. Okay, so those are all the disclaimers I have. I'm picking 5 books. Like I said, I'm no longer going to be going over the limit that I said at the beginning of the video because I am not reading as much as I used to, unfortunately. So we're only doing 5 books. Let's start with the first one. Is that a Z? A. Okay, A works. Once I get a letter, actually I'm not going to take it off because there's a lot of authors who have the same names, not the same names but the same initials, and so I'm not going to take them off. But A is our first one, so I'm going to go around, look at my little library and see what I could come up with. All right, you guys can kind of see it. The book that I chose is Ace of Spades by Farida Àbíké-Íyímíd. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, so if I butchered it, I deeply apologize. But this is the book that I'm choosing. It works because the last name starts with an A, and that was one of the criteria. That was one of the, I don't know what word I'm trying to think of, but it was one of the word that I'm trying to think of. Requirements. Yes, and it fits. And so I feel like I've read the back of this book so many times because I've shown it in so many videos, and I got it on my last, no, I showed, English is my first language, I'm just not very good at it. It was in my 26 books to read in 2026, and then I, for some reason, I don't remember why, have read the synopsis 2 other times, and so I've read it so many times, but I don't know if you guys have seen all of the times that I've read it, because there's a lot of like unused videos that I have. Like I'll film it and then I never post them, and I think this might have been in one of those, but I'm gonna read the back again. It says, when 2 Nivis Private Academy students, Devin Richards and Chiamaka Adebayo, are selected to be part of the elite school's senior prefects, It looks like their year is off to an amazing start. After all, not only does it look great on college applications, but it officially puts them in the running for valedictorian too. Shortly after the announcement is made, though, someone who goes by Aces begins sending anonymous text messages to reveal secrets about the two of them that turn their lives upside down and threaten every aspect of their carefully planned futures. As Aces show no signs of stopping, what seems like a sick prank quickly turns into a dangerous game. With all the cards stacked against them, can Devin and Chiamaka stop Aces before things become incredibly deadly? This is a book that I got on my birthday last year, I believe 2025, and so I've been wanting to read it for so long, and I'm glad that I can finally read it this year. This is also on my 26th stream, 2026. So we're getting a lot of goals done with this book. So I don't know, I'm excited, and I don't know if this is considered young adult, but oh, it is young adult. Yeah, for best young adult. So I feel like it'll be a quick read. I'm intrigued, and I'm pretty sure this is considered to be like a mystery thriller, so just speaking all of the languages when it comes to me. So that's the first book. Let's do the next one. Run, press done, and go. What's it gonna be? N. Okay. I'm gonna go look before I say anything, because I feel like I always say like I don't have anything and then I end up finding something. So I'm gonna go look first, and then I'll come back and say that. So I did say I didn't have any. I ended up having four options out of like 400 books. Crazy, I know, but the one that I chose was one that I completely forgot I had, because it's a book of the month book, and all of my book of the month books are like on top of my bookshelf. I can barely reach the top shelf of my bookshelf, so you better believe that I'm not actively going up to the top of my bookshelf to get book of the month books. This book I think I've had for a very long time. I know I've had it for at least 2 years, because this book, Dear Edward, which is upside down, by Anne Napolitano. It reminds me of Neapolitan, but I know that's not the last name. But I've got this book around the same time where I got Before I Let Go and Love and Disasters, both of which I read in 2023. This book I just know is going to be really sad, and it's really gonna make me feel the feels, and so I've been putting it off. But out of the 4 options that I had, this was the one that was most appealing to me, and it's a book that I have been wanting to read for a very long time. I just know that I'm emotional, and this is going to make me even more so. So let me read you the synopsis so that you guys understand what I'm talking about. It says, one summer morning, 12-year-old Edward Alter, his beloved older brother, and his parents, and 183 other passengers board a flight in Newark headed for Los Angeles. Among them are a Wall Street wonderkind, a young woman coming to terms with an unexpected pregnancy, an injured veteran returning from Afghanistan, a business tycoon, and a free-spirited woman running away from her controlling husband. Halfway across the country, the plane crashes. Edward is the sole survivor. Edward's story captures the attention of the nation, but he struggles to find a place in a world without his family. He continues to feel that a part of himself has been left in the sky, forever tied to the plane and all of his fellow passengers. But then he makes an unexpected discovery, one that will lead him to the answers of some of life's most profound questions. When you've lost everything, how do you find the strength to put one foot in front of the other? How do you learn to feel safe again? How do you find meaning in your life? Dear Edward is at once a transcendent coming-of-age story, a multidimensional portrait of an unforgettable cast of characters, and a breathtaking illustration of all the ways a broken heart learns to love again. Like one, I already am very emotional when it comes to kids' point of views in books. I don't know what it does to me. I don't know why I get so emotional, but if it's a kid telling the story, I'm already like, my senses are already on 10, because I'm like, why is this kid telling the story, right? So that's already an emotional trigger for me as a kid. It's a point of view in the story, but also it has to do with a plane crash, a lot of grief, a lot of loss. And we know how my 2025 went. And so I just think that this is really gonna like eat at my heart just a little bit. But these are also my favorite type of books. So I think it's gonna be great. Yeah, that's the second book. Now we're gonna choose our third book, number 3. Oh, my phone's about to die, as y'all can see. Is that an E? Or is that a D? An E! Okay, fun. I know what I'm choosing. Let me go get it. I did it. I chose it. I did. James by Percival Everett. This is another book. I got this at the same time as I got Ace of Spades. I've just heard literally, like, I do not think I've heard one bad thing about this book. And I feel like Black History Month, February, is a perfect time for me to read this book. And I feel like you guys also need to read this book, but also see my reaction. So watch the video when it comes out. Yeah? Thank you. Okay, let's read what this is about. It says, when Jim overhears that he is about to be sold to a man in New Orleans, separated from his wife and his daughter forever, he runs away until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck has faked his own death to escape his violent father. As all readers of American literature know, thus begins the dangerous and transcendent journey by raft down the Mississippi River toward the elusive and unreliable promise of free states and beyond. Brimming with the electrifying humor and lacerating observations that have made Everett a literary icon, this brilliant and tender novel radically illuminates Jim's agency, intelligence, and compassion as never before. James is destined to be a major publishing event and a cornerstone of 21st century American literature. Oh, I didn't realize I was unfocused. It's okay, you can still hear me. I'm so excited. I've actually never read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Never read it, but I will be reading this. Next. That one was the easy one, honestly. That was so easy. Let's go. C. 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 Okay. Alright, I chose my book. This was actually difficult because I didn't have very many options. And then the options that I did have, I was very conflicted with choosing them. But I did end up choosing this book because it's a book that can go in my reading vlog, and also a book that I'm very intrigued by because I've never heard anyone talk about this book. I recently picked up this book because I just liked the cover, and also because like I read the back of it and I liked what I saw. But it's called The Marriage Narrative by Claire Kahn. And like I just really like the cover. I really do, I'm not gonna lie. I did judge this book by its cover. But the back, it sounds very interesting. It says, Zinnia is an ambitious, successful businesswoman who is not about to wait around for her one true love. She turns her dating profile into a marriage merger proposal, arrange a few strategic meetings, move in together, get married, all within 30 days. Her friends think it will never work until she meets Jordan, a near-perfect applicant with a big secret. Jordan's family has spent the last decade starring in a massively popular reality TV show about their lives. He has finally agreed to join the cast, but production wants him to marry an actress, his ex, and a romantic storyline to boost viewership. Convinced Zinnia is perfect for the role instead, Jordan proposes a mutually beneficial marriage agreement. She gets her business partner husband, and he gets to help his family on his own terms. Together they face strict schedules, wild plot twists, and behind-the-scenes hostilities, all while acting like besotted newlyweds, an intense performance that evolves into a relationship they never expected. As the line between reality and TV show blurs, Zinnia and Jordan must choose between a clean contract or a beautifully messy love story. Like, that sounds so good. I'm so excited. I think this is gonna be really cute. And I love her name, Zinnia. Zinnia. I don't know. Whatever it is, I like how it's spelled. The spelling really like itches something in my brain. It's spelled Z-I-N-N-I-A. Z-I-N-N-I-A. Like, I don't know why. It just makes my brain happy for some reason. And that was the 4th book. So now we're going to pick our very last book. Yeah, that's crazy. It's really not crazy. I'm just really dramatic. Let's go. Let's make it a good one, yeah? Is that a P? It is indeed a P. Well, let's go. Let's go look. Okay, guys. I'm actually excited about this book. I really am. I really, really, really am. It is starting a series. Don't kill me. Don't hurt me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm doing it. And it is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. I'm so excited because one, this book is freaking stunning. It's stunning. Like, are you joking? Are you joking? Wait, that's not it though. That's not it. It's stunning. You cannot tell me that this is not one of the most beautiful books you have ever seen in your entire life. The end pages are freaking gold. Like, I'm just like oh. So I just happened to, you know, like flip over to the author's note. Oh, so it's telling you like trigger warnings, right? And one of these are, multiple of these are triggers for me, and so I don't, let me read them. It says, please read with care. While not core themes, this book touches on subject matter as follows: domestic violence situations, emotional manipulation, grief and loss, explicit sexual scenes, fantasy violence and gore, suicidal ideation, and overcoming addiction. Well, this will be a fun little ride, but I'm still gonna read it. Seems like February is gonna be the month of love, the month of blackness, and also the month of sadness. Let me read you the synopsis. Estrella is a prisoner of her own mind, the past sliding from her grasp like water. But she knows she must escape the cruel arms that hold her captive and find her clouded memories once again. This quest leads her to the Liberatum, a succession of trials hosted by the king in which 5 human lands compete for a cycle of safety from the vampires seeking blood, claiming souls, and savaging after dark. But even winning the Liberatum will not keep Estrella safe from vampires. She's made a bargain with a beautiful and deadly knight who stalks her dreams and haunts her waking hours. He promises to keep her safe, but she knows she cannot trust him, cannot trust his lies, even as she finds herself drawn deeper and deeper into a seductive embrace. Caught between Knight and her own mysteries, Estrella must decide if winning the Liberatum for her kingdom is worth life, or if protection and the answers to her past really are her strongest desires. That sounds really good. It's kind of giving the games. Honestly, I did not like at all what is it called, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I didn't like that book at all. But whenever I think of games, I think of that book, because if you know, you know. I also think of Phantasma, which I haven't read but really want to. And so this book is just giving me those, and I'm excited. You guys are probably like, why doesn't it give you like Hunger Games? I've never read Hunger Games. Nor have I read Divergent, which I think is similar to Hunger Games. don't quote me on that. Like I said, I haven't read either of them, but it gives me Akatar and it gives me Phantasma. 2 books that I own. One I've read, one I haven't. Anyway, I'm excited to read this book because one, it's just so pretty, and I think pretty books are just fun to read. So that is the 5th book on my TBR, and we are finished picking. So now I will go through, give you a recap, and end this video. So the first book on my TBR is Ace of Spades by Faridra Àbíké-Íyímíd. That's the best I'm gonna get with pronouncing that name once again, so sorry. Then we have Dear Edward by Anne Napolitano, James by Percival Everett, The Marriage Narrative by Claire Kahn, and lastly The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Panoranda. And that is all of the books that I will hopefully be reading. 3 of them I will definitely be reading in February. The other ones I also hope to read. But yes, this is the TBR for February. I'm excited, but like I said, I think it's going to be a very sad month reading wise. Very happy month in every other way. I hope and pray. That's all I ask for. But those are the books I'll be reading. If you guys have ever read any of these books, please tell me your opinions down in the comments below. No spoilers, of course, but if you like them, if you think I should maybe get rid of it, tell me your thoughts on these books. Because I love having conversations about books, and especially books that I'm going to possibly be reading. Let's have some discourse on it. But yes, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.